Hey guys, and welcome back to a new episode of The Tara Show. Last week we talked all about the plights of live streaming, and you guys had this to say in the comments. Badass Bradsta said, I'm a Twitch TV streamer with almost 200 followers. I agree it can be hard to entertain others, but I talk a lot about my life and random shit, so I don't need to worry about downtimes and people like that, lol. But if you're thinking about streaming, check out other streamers. There's a whole community out there, and it's nice to know that there are other streamers who will talk about or help you. And remember, stay badass. Thanks, Bradsta. I'll have little to no problem staying badass, as you requested. Aswitch, or Asswitch, says, I started streaming in 2011 and stopped, and then started back in April. Streaming definitely takes a lot of effort to get going, figure out, and regularly do, but after a lot of researching and discovery, I finally figured things out and can't be any happier streaming. It's surprisingly intriguing to share your gaming experiences with others and to get feedback as well. I definitely agree with that sentiment. There's nothing more awesome than sharing your gameplay with a bunch of other people, especially if it's like over 100. And Omar Marshall had this to say. I feel like Google is starting to ruin things for the online community. Adding Google Plus to YouTube, the big copyright issue that is still affecting lots of people, owning Twitch and adding copyright, etc. Also, I applaud any that can successfully stream without going through many of the issues that Tara mentioned. I had an old YouTube account where I was uploading playthroughs, walkthroughs, and some other little things, and then all the YouTube problems came and it was removed permanently. Cry face. I totally feel you there. There's been many times when there's content that I really loved that gets deleted or flagged or something, and I totally don't agree with it. Then I appeal, then they reject me. It's awful. Alright, it's time to shift gears and get the show on the road. This week, all I want to talk about is Sims 4. Electronic Arts has been rocking this awesome franchise for about 14 years now, but the new game is definitely not without its flaws. There are some serious issues here. Let's talk about them this week. Okay, so Electronic Arts keeps gloating that they've added a lot of emotion to the game, which might be true, but they've taken out a lot of the key components to the game that players really love. For instance, there's not going to be any pools. Another thing that has changed, for example, is the fact that the community will still grow older, but none of your Sims are going to get jobs or engage in relationships without player intervention. This means that you have to have 100% control over every single Sim. Speaking of jobs, I heard a bunch of jobs are being cut as well, which sucks, obviously. But those three things I mentioned are not the only things that are being cut. Some fans have been compiling lists of things that were in Sims 3 and are not going to be in Sims 4, and it comes out to a list of 89 things. Can you believe that? That's a lot of features that they're going to be cutting. Let's put things into perspective, shall we? Here's a little list of things. No cars, no cleaning skills, no illness or disease, no party invites from other Sims, no newspapers, and the list goes on and on and on. So this really has me wondering about the motivations of EA. Is The Sims 4 not done yet, and there's just some kind of weird addition or DLC that they're going to add to it? Are they trying to siphon more money from us? Is it just going to be a much more simplified game? Do they think the game's too hard? I mean, come on, it's Sims. When I was younger, alongside Fable, Sims was one of the very first PC games I ever played. I was a console gamer, as you guys know if you watched my previous Tara shows, and I just feel like The Sims has evolved into something that I'm not really interested in. I tried out one of the newer Sims games for my Losing My Virginity series on my gaming channel, and it was really weird the way everything was laid out, and it wasn't nearly as fun as it was back when I was a really little girl. Let's see. What should I aspire to? How could you aspire to be a gold digger? That's just awful. It's completely awful. But as it goes, Sims 4 is one of those games that can definitely get popular on YouTube. I even heard that Robert might want to start up a soap opera with me, Tim, Tatmo, and Katarina. So, what do you guys think about The Sims 4? Are you guys going to be playing it? Do you feel the other games in the franchise are much better, or how do you feel about it being like DLC that you have to pay for? Do you think that's something that EA would do? I feel like their track record definitely states that they might do something like that, which sucks. Alright guys, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you check back next week for more Tara Show. Oh, and post in the comments because as always, I'll be taking you guys' comments and talking about them in next week's show. Bye guys!